Josie Rourke on Angela Bond, who's died aged 48. This week you also heard last words on the winemaker Peter Hall, the actor Diane Keaton, and the bomb disposal expert Peter Gurney. Don't forget, there are hundreds of other fascinating life stories in the Last Word archive on BBC Sounds.
Matthew Bannister. The producer was Ed Prendeville and the assistant producer was Radio Mokhtan. It was a BBC Audio Wales production for Radio 4, where Moneybox will be looking at the business of making a will. That's in a couple of minutes.
There are no ordinary lives.
A new memoir from Sarah Perry.
Every death is the end of a single event in time's history. An event so improbable, it represents a miracle.
Reflecting on caring for her father-in-law in his final days.
It was the saddest thing we'd ever seen, and the best thing we had ever done.
Louise Brearley reads Death of an Ordinary Man by Sarah Perry.
How extraordinary it was to think he had gone.
This Monday to Friday morning at 11:45 on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds.
BBC News at 9 o'clock. Israel has carried out new attacks in Gaza and said it's suspending all aid deliveries into the territory. Hamas officials say more than 30 people have been killed. Israel has said it resumed its assault after one of its 2 soldiers were killed near Rafah. Hamas has denied involvement and Israel has said it's paused further operations. Our security correspondent, Frank Gardner, is in Jerusalem and says the ceasefire is under huge strain.
In Israel's case, they say that their troops have been fired upon and that they responded with airstrikes. From the Hamas side, they have put out an absolute denial that they were anything to do with the violence that happened in Rafah. They have accused Israel, with some justification, I have to say, of arming some of the gangs that operate in Gaza.
The Metropolitan Police says it's actively looking into reports that Prince Andrew asked a personal protection officer to investigate Virginia Giuffre when she accused him of sexual abuse. He hasn't responded to the new claims, but has always denied wrongdoing. Prosecutors in France say 4 suspects are being sought after a heist at the Louvre, in which 8 priceless artifacts were taken. They used a mechanical lift mounted on a truck, used disc cutters to enter through a window, and then left on 2 scooters. 2 pieces of jewellery, including a 19th century crown decorated with more than 1,000 diamonds, were retrieved. Ukraine says it's managed to evacuate 192 people who were working underground during a massive Russian attack on a mine in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Earlier, Ukraine attacked an oil refinery in the Samara region of Russia and a gas processing plant nearby. In cricket, at the Women's World Cup, England has made it to the semi-finals after beating co-host India. They edged to victory by a 4-run margin. The funeral of the much-loved cricket umpire Dickie Bird has been held in his hometown of Barnsley this afternoon. He died last month, aged 92. Hundreds of mourners attended, with many gathered outside the church. BBC News.
In half an hour, Jeremy Bowen will be reflecting on the week's events in Gaza in from our own correspondent. That's at 9:30. But on Radio 4, it's time for Moneybox with Paul Lewis.